So, what if I told you that one of the biggest revolutions in human history didn't start with a bang, but with a tiny little piece of curved glass? Today, we're talking about an invention that did more than just magnify objects, it completely magnified our understanding of reality itself. We're going to dive into how it revealed a universe that was hiding in plain sight all along.
Just for a second, try to imagine living your entire life only knowing what you could see with your own two eyes. What if the things that mattered most, the causes of life, of sickness, of death, were all happening on a scale so tiny you didn't even know it was there? Well, for pretty much all of human history, that wasn't a what if. That was reality.
Everything we knew, from the stars way up there to the ground right under our feet, was seen on this big macroscopic level. Our entire view of the world was limited. That was the stage for nearly all of human history. But that stage was about to get completely shattered by one incredible piece of technology.
Now, you're probably thinking, an invention this revolutionary must have come from some brilliant scientist at a famous university, right? Well, you'd be wrong. The story of the microscope's giant leap forward actually starts in a much more practical and, honestly, a totally unexpected place.
Okay, so this whole journey into the microworld didn't just happen overnight. It kind of started back in the late 1500s, when eyeglass makers like the Jansens figured out they could put lenses together to make things look bigger. Fast forward to 1665, and you've got Robert Hooke, who peered at a piece of cork and gave us the word cell. But really, these were just the opening acts. The main event, the real game changer, showed up in the 1670s with a very, very unlikely hero.
Everybody, meet Antonie van Leeuwenhoek. This guy wasn't a scientist, he wasn't a doctor, he was a cloth merchant. His story is just this amazing reminder that world-changing breakthroughs don't always come from the places you'd expect. A lot of the time, they come from a simple, practical problem that needs solving, mixed with a whole lot of curiosity.
No, seriously, this entire scientific revolution was kicked off because a guy wanted to check the quality of his fabric. Leeuwenhoek just wanted an edge in his business. So with this incredible, craftsman-like obsession, he taught himself to grind these tiny, super powerful lenses so he could see the threads in his cloth like no one else. He was just trying to solve a business problem.
To really get just how huge his technical achievement was, let's look at the numbers. The early microscopes, the ones made by the Jansens, they could magnify something maybe 10 times, which is a decent start for sure, but it's not nearly powerful enough to unlock the world's real secrets.
And then came Leeuwenhoek. His simple, single-lens microscopes, the ones he built to look at thread, could magnify things up to 270 times. Now, this wasn't just an improvement, it was a quantum leap. It was a jump so massive that it didn't just open a door, it kicked the door clean off its hinges, revealing a reality that no human being had ever seen before.
And this quote, it just captures his personal transformation perfectly. The moment Leeuwenhoek started looking through his lenses, his whole motivation shifted. He wasn't just a cloth merchant anymore. He became an explorer, and he felt this deep sense of duty to write down everything he saw in this new universe and share it with the world. So, Leeuwenhoek had built this unbelievable new window into the unseen world. What's the first thing we discovered when we finally looked through it? Oh, nothing much, just the literal blueprint of life itself.
Right, so Robert Hooke, with his less powerful scope, he looked at cork and saw these tiny, empty boxes that reminded him of rooms in a monastery, so he called them cells. But it was Leeuwenhoek who saw them alive. In a single drop of pond water, he found this bustling, chaotic world of what he called animalcules, or tiny animals. What we now know are bacteria and protozoa. For the very first time, humanity was seeing that life existed in forms we couldn't have even dreamed of.
And these first sightings, they weren't just weird little curiosities. They were the very first puzzle pieces to solving one of biology's greatest mysteries. By the middle of the 1800s, these glimpses all came together into what we call the cell theory. First, the idea that all living things are made of cells. And second, the incredible realization that all life comes from other life. It seems so obvious to us now, but back then, it was absolutely revolutionary.
And this new understanding of the tiny world didn't just stay in biology labs. Oh no, it kicked off one of the single greatest revolutions in human history, our understanding of what actually makes us sick.
I mean, just think about the incredible shift this created. Before the microscope, people thought disease was caused by bad air or just bad luck, maybe some supernatural force. But after the microscope, we got germ theory, and all of a sudden, the enemy had a face. It wasn't some evil spirit or a weird smell. It was a tiny physical thing, a specific cause that you could actually study, fight, and, for the very first time, defeat. This completely changed medicine. It wasn't just guesswork anymore. Doctors could now look through a microscope and actually see the problem. They could spot malaria parasites swimming in your blood, see the telltale signs of cancer in a tissue sample, and identify the exact bacteria causing an infection. The microscope turned the art of medicine into a precise science.
But the impact went way, way beyond medicine. This simple little tool didn't just change what we knew, it changed how we knew it. It fundamentally reshaped science, and all of human society along with it.
For science, it was an absolute game changer. It forced this massive shift from just thinking about big ideas to actually observing small things. Truth wasn't just something you could reason out anymore, it was something you could see. The microscope became the ultimate fact-checker, providing direct, visual proof to test any theory. And that scientific shift had massive consequences for society. Knowing about germs led directly to modern sanitation, to sewer systems, to public health, things that have saved literally billions of lives. It completely destroyed ancient superstitions like the idea that life could just pop out of nowhere. And maybe most profoundly, it just revealed this hidden layer of breathtaking complexity to the world.
So here's the bottom line, the crucial point in all this. The microscope's greatest legacy was maybe a philosophical one. It taught humanity that our own senses aren't enough, that the most powerful forces shaping our health, our world, our very lives could be completely and totally invisible.
And that really leads us to one last thought. The spirit of Leeuwenhoek, this curious cloth merchant who just decided to take a closer look, that's the spirit of science itself. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What invisible worlds, what hidden forces, what unseen realities are all around us right now just waiting for the right person with the right tool to finally bring them into focus?